Welcome back, Hot Wheel collectors. Today I just received in the mail a box of Sol-Aire CX4 and the 67 Hot Wheels Camaro castings that I ordered on eBay. These are variation lots, so lots of about 9 or 10 cars in each of those two castings. Arrived from two different eBay purchases from the same seller. So some really interesting castings in here, including a whole bunch of variations from this 1997 released Mod Bod series 67 Camaro in the fluorescent green. I've got a little backstory on that casting as well, just with a couple of the first releases ever from 1983. I've got the belt buckle 15th anniversary car here, and of course the first release. That's pretty iconic. I've got the Sol-Aire CX4 out here as well. These cars are all from 1989. I've got the parking plate released from 1990. And the two first releases of that car from back in 1984 in the Ultra Hot series. And of course there's going to be a whole bunch more of those cars in here, as well as some extremely rare variations which I'm going to be adding to my background display walls here. So stick around, stay tuned, and let's get into two different really interesting Hot Wheel castings, in my opinion anyways, for a little Hot Wheels review. Alright. So we've got the camera turned around now. I'm going to start just by giving you a little backstory, as I was saying, about this 67 Camaro casting Hot Wheels created in 1983. So this is part of a 3-pack 15th anniversary set that came out, and has the opening hood. It's a pretty hard car to find now in mint condition or very good condition, and usually commands quite a price on eBay. It's got the Hong Kong base, metallic green. Nice little piece. More often found, but still quite an expensive car, is the first release, also in 1983, the 67 Camaro. And we saw this come out last year in a very similar paint job, kind of a throwback to that first release in 83. And it also has an opening hood, unpainted engine. There's two variations of this car in 1983. One has the Hong Kong base, and the other has the Malaysia base. I have both variations, but we're not doing a whole casting variation here. It's going to be more of a show on this particular variation of the 67 Camaro, which was released in 1997 in the Hot Wheels Mod Bod series, and that car was collector number 399. 399. So you can look it up by that collector number. And it also has, of course, the opening hood. There's variations apparently with painted engines, tinted windows. There's a rare 7-spoke variation instead of the 5-spoke, which I don't think I have in this lot, unfortunately. That's the one I know I didn't get. So that's that. There's also quite a few Sol-Aire CX4 cars in this pile of plastic special little Protecto packy things. And the history of this car was it was first released in the Ultra Hot series, 1984, which also was the year that these Ultra Hot wheels were first introduced. And you don't see these on cars anymore nowadays in the newer releases. But there's Malaysian Hong Kong variations of this car as well. This one is a Zamac version, or unpainted. And also in the same year was a silver painted version. There was lots of variations and different paint jobs released through 1984 into 1989, well beyond into the 2000s. They make great race cars on the Hot Wheel racetracks, especially these older ones that are all metal, quite heavy, and they've got that nice smooth suspension, unlike most Hot Wheels where it's kind of a harder suspension. So those thin axles really give them some nice speed on the racetracks. Again, this is not a variation video on the Sol-Aire CX4, even though you're going to see a lot of variations from 1989. That's the main reason why I bought this set. In this set of cars, there's going to be some rare ones I did not have, and some, or at least one, extra of this Sol-Aire CX4 released in 1990 on the blue card. This is an international release. It doesn't have a number, and I forget what the number was for that car anyways. But it was one of the low number cars. It was one of the first blue card cars to come out. I do have Michael Zarnock's book here. I could have done my research a little better, but that's okay. We can get to that if we need to. So here's my banged up version. This is a rare variation for 1990 with the silver Hot One wheels and black plastic base. I've been looking to replace this car for some time, and because it's so hard to find, I wasn't keen on opening this really nice condition blue card, which is rare. I do open a lot of blue cards. And also there you'll note there's different variations in the spoiler, which is a known variation of this casting in the later years. One has the closed spoiler, the other one has the open spoiler. You can see there's a hole in the spoiler, making it look more realistic on this one model. Also easier to be more susceptible for damage during play, and possibly one of the reasons why it was changed or introduced. I don't really know, because the first releases were a closed spoiler. Then they briefly had these open spoilers, and then they kind of got rid of them after a couple of years. So we've also got, just because it was also released in 1989, this ultra hot version in red. There's a variation that I don't have and did not get from 1989 that has purple, where it's blue. That's a purple stripe in the tampo, and it's a car for some reason I have not been able to acquire yet, so looking for that one anyways on eBay. And then this one here is from, I think, 1991, the Park End Plate series, and it's one of the more premium lines of the time. There's a rare variation with a blue tint window, which is going to be in this lot, something I was looking for quite some time to add to my collection, as I only had this black window version. So let's get these cars out of the package right now. I don't know which one's coming out first. Figured I'd just open them here with you, because that's always fun. There's a few castings in here which I won't really get into any mention of, because they are not of the two that I'm talking about. But here's the first Camaro out of the package. Appears to be just a nice, very minty condition Malaysia base. Looks the same as this car. I don't know of any tampo variations. I'm going to have to back all these cars up a bit, I just realized. Okay, so we'll get the cars kind of lined up in order. We don't really need these first editions. That was just part of my story. So move those out of the way. Move that one out of the way. And prepare to have lots more Sol-Aire CX4s enter the table. In case I hadn't noted, they do have the opening rear spoiler, exposing that 12-cylinder engine. So we've got two Camaros. They appear the same. Interestingly, the first one is actually from my youth. I got this one as a kid back in 1997. I would have been, well, not really a kid, 14 years old. I would have been a teenager. So I was collecting Hot Wheels, of course, my entire life. So there really was no time when I wasn't buying Hot Wheels. Next one out is the Sol-Aire CX4 that I was looking to add to my collection wall to replace my banged up version. So now I do not have to open my blue card rare version, and that's a really nice piece. I have been after this car for a while. It's not overly expensive, it's just a hard one to find. Now there are variations that we're going to talk about with the color of the blue in the tampo. There's a medium blue and a dark blue. This appears to be the medium blue, but you can see how much nicer it is to have a chip-free version when all of your other cars are chip-free. This one kind of stood like a sore thumb in my collection up to this point. So off you go. Let's roll that one right off the hill. Woo! Boom. Okay. Next car out of the package. This appears to be another 67 Camaro. It's very green. No. Yeah, I don't know what this is. This is a Firebird from obviously a modern release. So I told you there's going to be a few cars in here I'm not going to even mention because they're not part of this video, as far as the information on these more iconic historical Hot Wheels. That may have been a K-Day. I don't know how it came in there. Here's a car I was really anxious to get. The Gold Ultra Hot version. Let's just zoom in on this one. This is going to be a rare international release most likely. But the Gold Ultra Hot cars are always hard to find. This one is absolutely mint. It says 2 Sol-Aire CX4. I'm not really sure why it has a 2 in front on the base, but it's got the medium blue in the tampo. So that is going to be awesome for the wall. I'm going to have to make some more space for all these CX4s. What else have we got? Here's another car that I'm not going to talk too much about because I really haven't done my research on. It wasn't the reason why I bought this set. Toy Cars and Vehicles. It's a CUDA. 70 CUDA. Looks like it's got the real riders. Some sort of very detailed maybe promotional car. If you have any information on that, feel free to leave me a comment. It is a nice piece, so put that one just out of sight for now. We need the room. We need the real estate. This one feels like a heavy one, so it's going to have to be a CX4. They are a heavy casting, as I said. Here is a fairly, I believe, standard car that I have in my collection already. Medium blue, all metal. With the Ultra Hots. Just listen to how smooth that is. I believe that's the same one as I already have here. No, it's not. You can see the difference in the blue. The one on the right has a dark royal blue, and the one I just opened here has that medium blue. So that's a variation, a known variation that existed during the time of these cars' production between 1989 and 1990. So I'm going to put those two together right there to know that we've got a variation. Got the gold Ultra Hot there. These other ones in the background have purple in the tampo, as you can see. Those were released in 89 only, not 1990. So, we'll see if we've got some more of those coming. This feels like another Sol-Aire. And this is the parking plate version that I was looking for. Mint condition with that nice transparent blue window. Quite a rare piece. To find these cars in their packaging usually is quite expensive on eBay, as they are pretty hard to come by. We've got one with the closed spoiler, one with the open spoiler. Possible variations exist with the blue window tint in the open spoiler version and vice versa. I'm going to have to do some more research on that, but realistically I have probably more CX4s in this 1989 to 1990 year than you'll even find on Wikipedia, fandom, powered Hot Wheels information stuff. Whenever I Google this stuff, it's always quite a search when you get into this many variations. So here we have a really nice condition, dark royal blue tampo version. Malaysia base, open spoiler. So that is basically, I believe, the same car as the one I just opened. Or already have anyways. One has the raised Malaysia base on the casting, and the other has just Malaysia. I don't really worry too much normally about variations that subtle with the base and how Malaysia is written on the bottom. It's more of the paint variations I'm looking for and the window variations. And here is a gorgeous, very rare variation of the Sol-Aire CX4. It does have a, looks like a factory error of purple tampo kind of up and along on an angle. Some sort of strange ghost tampo variation. Probably could take that off if I wanted to, but I think it's kind of neat, so I'm going to leave it. This is the purple in the tampo, closed wing spoiler, and the highly sought after black window tint. That's definitely a carry forward of parts from a previous paint job of the car, or possibly, it doesn't even look like it's ever been cracked. I'm not even going to open it. It feels so nice and tight and stiff. I don't want to disturb any of the paint lines on this car. But what a nice looking piece with those black windows. And definitely one I did not have. The version I have has the common yellow windows, as you can see. Pretty cool. Both have raised Malaysia bases. Where are my Camaros going? They're disappearing. Alright, I'm going to move that other Sol-Aire out of the way now that we have one of those examples loose here. Look at all these black Sol-Aire CX4s, my goodness. Got the odd yellow ones there. Another Firebird by the feeling of it. I'm not really sure why these were in this lot, but nice car. I like this casting lot. Looks like we've got a variation on the color of green perhaps. One's a darker metallic, hideous green base, but oh well. Next, Sol-Aire CX4 again. Here's another one. Purple tampo. Probably one of the ones I already have in my group setting here. Nice chromy Malaysia base. There you go. That one looks an awful lot like this one. So yeah, we've got two of those. The one I have open here before you, we've got the raised Malaysia, and then of course the non-raised Malaysia. So there is a variation, very subtle variation there. Finally, another 67 Camaro. This one looks to be Raised Malaysia, 67 Camaro. Doesn't appear to be different than any of the other ones I already have. Oh my goodness! Don't you hate it when that happens? Everything's fine. Both have the raised Malaysia, so those cars... Ah! There's our variation. It's a partially painted engine. One's got the all gray engine, the other one's got a silver engine that's been oversprayed with green. So silver painted engine, unpainted engine on that one. Just a bit shinier for unknown reasons. That's the one I had from my youth, the raised Malaysia. Okay, cool. Another Sol-Aire CX4. Make a drinking game out of this video. Every time I say Sol-Aire CX4, take a drink. So this one is a raised Malaysia. It's got the 2 Sol-Aire again. I'm not really sure why they put the 2. I already said that once, but it still mystifies me. And let's see. Well, that one says it as well. Those are both the same. Do they all say 2? That one doesn't even have a name on it. 2 Sol-Aire. No name. 2 Sol-Aire. Interesting. Would like to know, but I don't have the answer for that. Why there's a 2. If anyone knows, of course, please do leave a comment. Here's a nice little rare variation, I believe. This is the smoky window Camaro. And raised Malaysia. Silver painted engine. I'm moving around here too much. But those smoky windows. Quite different than the clear windows, of course. And you've got the Hot Wheel symbol on the back window, which the other 3 do not have. So, well, I closed the Zarnock book. Anyways, I think that's probably one of the tougher 67 Camaros from the Mod Bod series to find. I don't remember seeing that one all that regularly. Here we have yet another Camaro. Malaysia base. Unpainted engine. So, pretty sure that's the only variation. So we've got a couple duplicates perhaps. And then minor variations here. I'm zoomed all the way in. Look at this blob of cars. Now these were not expensive lots to buy actually. I got all these Camaro type cars for $20 US. And all the Sol-Aire CX4 cars for $37 US. Here we've got the closed spoiler version of this 1989 Sol-Aire CX4. This one's got the Malaysia base, the number 2 in front of it. Look at that nice suspension bounce. So we've got that car already here. 2 versions of it. 3 cars left to open. Ah, another parking plate. Now, I already have this one from my collection with the open spoiler and everything, so nice piece to have. It is a rare car to find, as I'd said, but I've got 2 nice minty examples, so one of those going on the wall, the other one going into my duplicate storage, which, of course, is quite large. All those Plano cases full of duplicate Blackwall Hot Wheels and early 90s Hot Wheels. Some red lines as well. Okay, so there's a unrelated Dodge Charger. I wonder if they still have the opening hoods then. This hood was a joke. It never really opened on this model very well. Nice car though. Nice model. It's a newer one. Maybe a K-Day, I'm not sure. I think that one came out originally metallic blue and black, if I'm not mistaken. We don't have Kmart's here in Canada anymore. So, and here's a Dodge Demon. That's about a 2008 release, 2009 maybe. So there you go. There's the cars. Did not get a 7-spoke 67 Camaro. Still looking for one of those at a reasonable price. And any information on other spoiler options for this blue and black parking plate car would be pretty cool. So I think I've got just about every Sol-Aire CX4 in black now. Still looking for that red one. As I said, with the magenta or purple in the tampo. And other than that, I think I've got every Sol-Aire CX4 Hot Wheels ever made. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, slam the old like button. If you hated it, hit the old dislike button. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys soon. Happy hunting.